911 has been changed to a non-published number.
Warning, the following show contains conservative posturing, radical Christian ideas, and may offend pagans, Wiccans, Islamic fundamentalists, and other unenlightened individuals. Callers and guests may be subjected to brash and offensive comments by the hosts and any other type of bullying tactics available. But that's okay. We know why you're here.
This concludes this test of the emergency broadcast system.
Tonight is Monday, June 9th, 2008.
All right, welcome to World of the Unexplained.
Oh, this is
with no music.
Yeah, it's bad.
You were giving me a visual cue there,
I was.
and
it's okay.
That's what that was for.
It's all right. We're very late. Nobody's here.
No, this is the skeleton crew.
It is
the red shirts from the original series of Star Trek.
It's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
I'm Ensign Router. And this is Ensign Scott.
That's right. It's just bad. We don't know what we're doing.
You know, there was an Ensign Scott in Wrath of Khan. Or maybe he was serviceman. He died.
Oh, that sucks.
He died halfway through.
That figures.
Trying to save the rest of the crew. He stayed there till all the trainees ran, but he stuck it out. Actually, he wasn't his son. He was his nephew. But close enough. He was an Ensign Scott.
Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to have, like, dog sounds through here.
Yeah, this is just...
This is awful.
This is amazing.
This is awful.
Who let that dog in here?
Woo, woo. I don't even have to do it. He'll do it. I thought he's going to be quiet, man.
I was over at the...
No, I shouldn't have brought the dog. Anyway.
This, I guess a sports goods store that will remain unnamed, and I was walking out into the parking lot. And you remember that Beastie Boys sample they had back, maybe it was in '93?
No, I don't remember that.
And you can't, you won't, and you won't stop. That one?
No.
Well, there's this dog leaning out of the window. It obviously had separation anxiety with its owner. Black
obviously.
lab, very very large black lab in a very expensive automobile with its head out, and it kept doing that over and over again. It reminded me of that loop, and it was almost on cue every time, man. I could have almost started beatboxing to it.
What is that? Richard Cheese. It's
that sounds nasty.
No, yeah. Well, it's a guy that was done on purpose. He does a he does a bunch of songs. He like covers like famous songs like Metallica and other rock bands, and he takes and he
sort of like Pat Boone.
Yeah, well, he takes and makes some like big band songs, and he did "Been Caught Stealing Once When I Was 5."
I have heard of this. Maybe you've told me, or maybe some of my audiophile buddies have told me.
But, the dog's like barking the whole time, like it does in the beginning, the woof woof woof, in the beginning of the song.
Oh, that could be pretty annoying.
And so the dog is like, "Cue the dog," the dog's barking, and it's like, "Oh no, it's like Phil Spector, and he's got a gun, boom," and the dog dies. That's the idea. And he's like, "No, we're just kidding. We didn't hurt the dog."
Speaking of Unexplained, Phil Spector and his giant blonde afro. I don't know. Was he acquitted from his crime too? I don't know what the deal is. Actually, you know what? It was a hung jury. They can open it back up again.
Oh yeah, and they will. I'm sure. To waste all that money, and I don't know. Personally, I think if the jury hangs, they should just let it go.
Well, that's usually the case too, unless it's a high-profile case, which his is.
Yeah, and then they'll open it back up.
Although he did, the woman he did kill, and not to excuse it by any means, but she was less than, I would say, a B actress. The only film I ever saw her in was what was it? Death Stalker, the original, not 2, 3, or 4.
I didn't even. I'm not even familiar with.
It's this really really low rent fantasy TNA film. It aspires to be Conan the Barbarian, but it has maybe 100th or 1,000th of the budget.
Wow, that's good stuff.
It looks like stuff maybe a high school D&P department might put together for one of their productions, but on film.
That's great.
And the cinematography is probably equaled to high school level. Yeah. In fact, I imagine with today's video editing software and some of the stuff I've seen on YouTube, you could probably do better. I challenge one of our listeners actually to film a Death Stalker short.
Send it
with
to
today's technology, Avid, whatever you guys want to use to put it together. I think Vegas might be another editing program. Yeah, put together, like a 3-5 minute spot. Send it to us. We got connections.
We do. Yeah,
we do
if
actually.
They never call us back.
Oh,
that was
the truth hurts.
Slam, wasn't it? Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, man.
But no, we definitely we could probably if nothing else, give it to people that could make something happen with it.
Sure, definitely.
Because certainly, neither of us are big time directors or producers.
Just in my mind.
Yeah.
Just in my mind, Chuck. Anyway, well, it's time for the first break. No, I'm kidding. We're going to do that. We just got here.
We would really be doing them wrong if we just bailed right now, wouldn't we?
Well, we came in at 20 after. It's time for the first break.
But in case you can't tell at this point, we are, once again, without a guest tonight.
No.
I didn't want to drop the ball there.
Oh, man. Come on. I was going to keep him guessing for half an hour.
For half an hour? Yeah. Now, that's just torture.
It is. But...
That's like when Simon Cowell does some sort of roundabout compliment or backhanded compliment, or and he just makes him sit there and wade through it for about a minute and a half.
Yeah,
it's a little like that. It's torture. We shouldn't do that to our audience.
We shouldn't. Yeah. Anyway, the number here toll free is 877-722-7382. That number again is 877-SCARE-U2. It's toll free in the U.S. and Canada. Locally 336-996-1596. Just waiting for the phone to ring.
Oh, we're on a slight delay here, so
yeah.
Any minute now. Any minute.
Yeah, I wish we got that Michael Savage call thing going on, man. They're just where they line up and wait. I read about these big time radio hosts where they get so much call volume because they're on everywhere. They get so much call volume, though. I mean, your average wait time's like 30-40 minutes.
Well, it's my understanding from the guy that works for the local Clear Channel affiliate here, he claims that, unless you call in the Love Lines line before they actually go on air,
you're not going to get on?
Exactly. There's not enough spaces, I guess, in there.
That's crazy.
Their, what is it, all circuits or their operating system.
Good Lord. Yeah. Can you imagine that?
Well, it would be pretty insane, but then again, you have your nationally syndicated like that. The boards would just
pop,
light up, like you're saying. I mean, Michael Savage is, let's face it, he's not even an A-lister or a B-lister when it comes to political who's who.
Oh, come on, man! He gets like 8 to 10 million listeners a week. That's pretty hopping.
I gotta wonder who's listening there.
I'm listening, brother. Yes, sir, I am.
But it's I don't know where I was going with it, but yeah, it's not as if he's big time and he gets a fair amount of listenership. So and I guess call response. So I guess what we're saying is you guys need to call up and respond.
That's right, man. Respect.
What are you, Ali G now?
Yes. Respect. RESPECT.
He's got a contract to do, and I don't know if he's actually underway making the film yet or not. But, he has a contract underway to do another one of his characters from the Ali G show.
Which one's that?
It is a homosexual Austrian who does a show
You asked and they delivered.
Called Funky Zunenbreiten.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be a hell of a film.
Let's just put it on with just do it.
Yeah, that was pleasant.
That was nice, wasn't it? Well, welcome aboard.
Caller, who are you and where are you from?
I'm from Nashville.
Oh, wow.
Hey, what's going on, man?
What's going on?
I can't believe you actually tuned in after all that long wait in the beginning.
I was doing other things, but I was hoping you guys were coming on tonight.
Oh, yeah, well, thanks.
It's funny, I just dialed 732 by mistake instead of 722.
Yeah, what is it?
It's 1-800-FOXY Lady.
Wow.
Is it really? That's great.
The scary biatches.
You might not want to accidentally slip.
That's where all our callers are going. They get them on this Foxy Lady thing, and then they just stay there.
Yeah.
They're like, this is much more interesting than WO2.
How's everything going?
It's good, man. How's things out in Nashville? Y'all getting any severe weather?
No, we're pretty calm.
Well, that's good.
How's everything out in your neck of the woods?
Oh, it's hot, man. Just dog days of
It's
summer.
hot here too.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scorcher, I think, here for the next week or so.
Like 90s. It's just awful.
We're both headed to the lake this weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Hey, it's Ron Paul Hunter hasn't called in yet, so.
Oh yeah, he's waiting.
Wait, were you the one that wrote me the email over at Third Rail?
Don't know.
No, okay. I just wanted to make sure.
He might have been.
What was the email?
Well, it was actually no, maybe it wasn't, because I think it might have been somebody who was local here, but it was somebody who was stoked about, somebody who was interested in both politics and the paranormal here in the Triad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess I just put two and two together, and you're in Nashville, so. No, it probably wasn't you, but then again, I don't want to disclose the contents of the email. We try and keep everything under wraps and confidential here.
Yeah, right. Anyway.
Hey, what's this? I got an email from you guys not too long ago. I guess one of those mass emails that said something like you guys are going on the road or something. What's up with that?
I don't know. Did Trent send something like that out?
He might have.
Yeah, we're eventually going.
We're going to try and make it to a remote location in the northeast.
Oh no, I've already given that.
You've already
away.
given that.
Yeah, we're going to Sleepy Hollow this Halloween.
Oh, really?
It's going to be cool. You should go. I think that's what we're going to do.
Know.
We're going to invite everybody. Maybe we get a package deal or something. Just get them all. I mean, because it's cool, because it's going to be Halloween, Sleepy Hollow, and I think Halloween this year falls on a Friday. So we'll get up there like Thursday, and we'll have Friday, Saturday to hang out.
Well, speaking of which, it isn't Friday the 13th this Friday?
Well, that only applies historically to Friday, October the 13th.
Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty positive.
I don't know. I saw news coverage on it. It must be real.
Yeah. But, yeah, you should come out, man. We'll try to get everybody out there. It'll be a lot of fun, man. We're going to participate in all the town, all the town stuff.
Sounds cool. I don't know. It's a long trip, man.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, he's
though.
in Nashville. I've done the drive from Nashville to D.C. before, and that's like about a 10-hour drive.
Oh,
I can't imagine what it's like to New York. You probably tack on at least another 3 or 4 hours there.
Yeah, I'd have to fly if I was going to go.
Yeah, we're not that important.
Maybe we'll bring someone who is, though.
Yeah, we can bring someone.
Foxy Lady is, so,
No, we'll bring them, yeah.
There we go.
We promise.
That's the way we'll get people.
I have a suggestion for the show.
Sure, get guests.
I know I've been cruel as far as like music and everything.
Stop playing the same stuff.
You need to have, and seriously, just like a Royal Rumble, like a face-off between Rich Anders and Ron Paul Hunter. It would just be classic.
Oh, he's so right. The only other person we could throw in that to make it any better is Chris Roller.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's you could just bring him in at the end,
Chris Roller wants to come back on. He's emailed.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, get him.
I just, I never emailed him back. I need to. It's not that I just get busy.
The thing is that Chris Roller just pretty much admitted that he was crazy.
Yeah, true.
So
what's your point?
I don't know.
We still have him on.
You kind of felt like.
It was like shooting a fish in a barrel, man. In fact, it wasn't even as good as shooting fish in a barrel. It was like standing in the vicinity of a barrel. I mean...
But, you don't know at the same time you felt sorry for him, like you were saying, but you don't know how much of it's put on and how much of it he really believes.
I know, yeah. That probably is when you got that show. That and the Prophet Yahweh one.
That was good.
You're a damn liar. We haven't heard from him since then.
The guy calling up and just getting on to him. The Pastor Harry guy.
And then we had him on. He's the guy that burns the effigies of Santa Claus every Christmas.
Because he turns little children into atheists.
Yeah, apparently.
Jay Scott.
Yes.
Jay Scott.
Yes, sir.
Where do you find these people, man?
I don't know, man.
Rock.
I found that Pastor Harry through Prophet Yahweh.
He called in that
called in that night. And we're like, we got to have this guy on. And I checked out his website, and I was like, oh, my Lord. We definitely got to have this guy on. And then I felt kind of bad because I set him up with Terry.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I kind of pulled a backstab on that and set him up and had Terry James come on like the second hour or something and mess with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of wrong, but it was fun to face off. Oh man,
that'd be like
to have him at a Royal Rumble. Rich Anders and
Ron Paul Hunter.
Ron Paul Hunter, man. Seriously. Oh my God. I'd probably be insane by the end of the night on that one.
You know, it's funny because Ron started as a guest, and then he just became a caller. You know, and some of our guests have done that. Rich was that way for a while.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Yeah.
My favorite one. You guys were talking about Rich Anders. In fact, you were just making fun of him.
Oh, God.
On the show. And then he called about 30 seconds later.
Busted.
He's probably calling right now.
He didn't call to chew you out. He called just to add into the conversation.
I remember that. They're like, oh, it's Rich.
Oh, that's too much.
That's the other Rich Anders moment was when his wife was talking to him on the phone.
Yeah, that was good.
You heard that? Yeah. I haven't listened to it back since then, but I do remember.
I think I could hear. I think it was Chuck. I could hear just chuckling in the background.
This is painful, man. This is good stuff. You're keeping us entertained tonight.
You just hear.
Oh, she was. I know what it was about now. She was telling him, you know, you're being sued right now, and you're on the radio right now talking all this stupid stuff.
Yeah, don't give away. You know,
somebody was suing him.
Oh yeah, we can't really go into that.
Oh, I guess I dropped the bomb there.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, but we'll have to edit that out of the pod.
Since we're being so frank tonight.
Yeah, but good Lord.
Oh man, but Rich Anders is what? Yeah,
I can see that now. I can tell you the order of people that are going to call when we let you go. It'll be Ron Paul Hunter, followed by Rich Anders.
It's too bad we can't pipe them both through on that same line. In fact, we might have Rich or one of their numbers. Maybe we could call one of them. We could set this up for you tonight.
Oh God!
What do you say?
Okay.
Oh man, I don't know if I can take it tonight. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm jacked up on so much caffeine. My brain might explode.
Oh my gosh.
There'll be cherry pie all over Wotu Studio.
You seriously, you need to have that one night.
Just let them go at it for 2 hours. Just sit back.
Yeah.
Oh, they might agree though.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Have they spoken to each other? He would know better than us, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
It would be pure Wotu gold, man.
Have they ever talked to each other?
Huh?
Have they ever talked to each other? Because I don't remember if he's ever.
I heard Ron Paul Hunter call in.
I think you're right.
The times that he was on.
Well, there have been a few people we've left on with other guests, and I think inadvertently, one or the other has been left on during the break with the other.
Oh yeah. We've done that for fun sometimes too. Leave them on the same line and would leave.
Well, because we've left Ethan on, I think, with Ron Paul Hunter or somebody else.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, hey, the third best moment was the Rich Anders moment. Was when you guys were interviewing him, and he was watching Dancing with the Stars while you were interviewing. He just kept walking away.
I'm sorry, Jay.
Yeah, exactly. Dancing with the Stars.
I'm trying to remember who were the finalists that year.
Question, he's like, what?
Yeah, what?
I'm watching Dancing with the Stars.
I think it was Jerry Rice and the kid from Saved by the Bell. I think those were the two finalists that year.
Oh, man.
I can see that. Those are two compelling contestants.
I've never watched the show.
Neither have I. I mean, I know the concept, though. You know, you've seen one reality TV show. You've
seen them all.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's why people listen to us. That's why one person's listening to us tonight.
Well, we're what you call boutique journalism.
Yeah, it's boutique, all right.
Little kiosk in Walmart. No, maybe we're not even as upscale as Walmart. Maybe it's Kmart.
I don't know. I think Kmart's even got us beat, brother. But
yeah, you're right. They do have the Martha Stewart line.
You always keep me entertained.
Well, good, man. We're good.
And where's your co-host tonight?
Well, I think Trent's car broke down, And Dee's sister from Oklahoma is coming to visit.
Oh.
So that just leaves me and Chuck Meister. We were thinking about not having a show, and I was like, we'll do it anyway.
Well, I was over here. He was over here. The gear was over here.
Yeah, we just said, we'll do it.
Yeah. And why not?
Guys, I'd love to meet you guys sometime, man. I don't know. I don't ever get over to North Carolina or anything.
Well, did you buy tickets to that Out of
did.
Darkness thing that we
I
did?
did. Yeah.
He was one that we refunded.
Did you refund all of them?
I did.
You did.
I even got hit with a service charge on a couple of them that had to come out of my own pocket, but it was no big deal.
Yeah, it had to be done though.
Yeah. I don't know. I
You
think
guys
if
are gonna have the Taps guys come out, or
I don't know. Right now, I don't. Every time I've called Jason recently, I get I'll call you back in a little bit, Jay. I'm filming, and then I never hear back from him. Yeah,
It could be he's a busy guy though too.
that's true. But
I mean, I don't know. I know what my schedule's like. I can't imagine somebody that's on production like that. What their schedules.
I have a couple buddies.
really.
I have a couple buddies like that though in the paranormal world who have recently been ignoring me, and so I'm just like, well, your loss. You're a jerk. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they got mad about something I said. It's probably true.
Hey man, I've been hearing this lady on heard her on Ghostly Talk and heard her on one other show. Her name is Lisa Lindley. Have you heard of her?
No.
A name is
Talk to her.
familiar for some reason. Wait, is she on one of these television shows?
No, she's just this person that's dealt with like this like extreme haunting,
Okay.
and like her thing is she's a Christian,
Uh-huh.
and her thing is about like the power of prayer.
Well, they didn't make fun of her like they do everybody else? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry.
I think she'd be a really good guest.
Okay, what's her name?
You guys, Lisa Lindley.
Lisa.
I think it's Lindley.
Okay.
She might be on talkers.com. Maybe we can look her up there.
We'll find her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Done a couple other shows. Like I said, she did Ghostly Talk and another show.
Who let all these damn dogs in here?
Who let the dogs out? Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Hey, guys, I've listened to the show a lot over the last 2 years, and I have heard dogs.
Yeah.
In the podcast.
Those are EVPs.
Well, we move places, and oh my God, it's a long story. I'm not going to get into it, but
It kind of gives it an interesting quality, I think.
It does.
I don't know.
Well,
it punctuates.
I have
Rich Andrews and.
I have chihuahuas. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, those are Chihuahua?
Oh, yeah.
They sound like huge dogs.
Well, that's the idea, man.
I thought you would at least have like some hound dogs.
Oh,
that you go
no.
hunting with.
No.
No, and aren't pit bulls illegal in Forsyth County?
No, they're not. Pit bulls are good dogs. They're good dogs.
They're illegal in D.C. I know that for
Are
sure.
they really?
Yeah.
So are handguns. Those people in D.C., I don't know what they're smoking up there. My gosh. Take away a man's right to bear arms. I tell you. Unconstitutional. Anyway.
Yeah, this ain't even the same dog from yesterday.
Yeah.
This is some other dog.
Well, Adam, thanks for calling in, buddy. You made us laugh really hard. I appreciate it.
No, and it was a very fun trip down memory lane there. I had forgotten about the Rich Andrews and his wife and the
It was a classic.
It was good stuff, man. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
if anyone else is listening out there, you should definitely pick that one up. I think it was from it wasn't this last one, but it was the one before.
Time before that. I don't even know if it's up yet.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know.
It probably is.
I don't know.
You should check it out anyway.
Well,
You need to take my suggestion and have the Royal Rumble, man.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I think that sounds like a fantastic idea. In fact, I'd suggest to
You could tag team it too. You could even do 4 of them.
Well, I was actually suggesting having Rich and Ron actually even at the next convention that we plan
together.
Yeah, along with a whole slew of other Wotu characters.
Yeah, that would be
The
cool.
Wotu convention.
That would be crazy, man. That would be crazy.
And that's what we should do next time.
We should do it in Nashville, man. That way we know you'll be there.
Well, I'm even thinking somewhere not necessarily in the southeast. I'm thinking maybe like
Jamaica.
Atlantic City. I think would be a very cool one to do.
We do it in Jamaica, man. That way if nobody shows up, man, hell, we'll still go. We have a good time.
Well, that's what I'm saying about AC, man. At least we can go hit the casino if it's a bust.
Yeah, well, yeah.
If you guys ever make it out here and towards Nashville, let me know.
Oh, wait,
we'll do it.
You know what? Memphis, they got the riverboats there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he's still about 8 hours from Memphis.
That's true. And Memphis has Elvis.
Yeah.
About 3.5 hours.
Oh, it's closer than that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess it's Nashville to Knoxville. Maybe that's the real trek then.
Yeah, Tennessee's not that long, man.
I don't know. I remember when I came back from the Grand Canyon out there, driving through Tennessee on I-40. It was the longest drive of my life.
Oh yeah.
Then again, it was at the end of like a 7,000-mile trip I was driving. So, maybe I was having a gluteal fatigue.
Gluteal fatigue. Oh man.
That's a euphemism for ass pain.
I'll send you guys an email, and I'll keep in touch.
All right, man.
Well, thank you, man, for calling in, and definitely thank you for refreshing our memories of all the good times we've had here at Wotu.
All right, you guys have a good night.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, man.
Bye.
Well, that was unexpected and nice.
No, that was awesome. That was
Pleasant
awesome.
and unexpected.
Ask and you shall receive.
Yep.
Apparently, I raised my decibel level high enough that he heard me probably in the other room doing his laundry.
Yeah, well.
He did say he was, off doing other things, but yeah, apparently we must have caught his attention there in the echo chamber.
Oh man. Wow. Well, let's take a break and
That
come
sounds
back
like,
around.
sounds like a plan.
Excuse me, man.
Yawning in the microphone.
Man, already kicking in.
We're coming to all the faux pas tonight.
Yeah, we are. But anyway, it's real. People want real, Chuck. They're tired of this iPod nation.
No, I hear you. All this put on stuff, like well, even the Stephen Colbert character. While there's an element of reality to that, it's still fairly put on.
Yeah, I agree.
It's contrived. But yeah, people do want something that's real, and I guess that's what we provide them.
Yeah, we do. We're new media.
Yeah, we're keeping it real here.
Give it to them good. Give it to me good.
Now,
Remember that
Jay
song?
Scott?
Trickster, dude.
Trickster.
That was Trickster.
Why don't you bust out some Dockin next?
I never liked Dockin.
I don't know. I was somebody that I respect highly was trying to turn me on to Dockin because apparently their guitar player is just primo virtuoso. Apparently he's a classical guitarist too. I had no idea. So I'll have to look him up here in the next couple of days. Maybe even check out some of Dockin's work. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, you're talking to a guy that likes Ronnie James Dio, like Holy Diver and Rainbow in the Dark, those tunes.
I've never been a Dio fan either.
Some of it I like.
I like the cheesy hair metal was my thing.
I remember buying the Black Sabbath albums when I was a kid.
I did like the Black Sabbath
and
stuff.
I bought the post-Ozzy Black Sabbath stuff when they got back together in the 80s with Ronnie James Dio as the front man. And I was, putting them on expecting, Ozzy Osbourne on there. And, what do you know? It's Ronnie James Dio. It sounds nothing like it. Nothing at all.
There's
like
a phone again. We should just get it and see.
Yeah, why not? We can go just straight through here.
Sure.
No breaks here at Wotu. Get back to work. I missed him.
Wonder who that was.
Maybe it was Rich Ondas.
It could have been. I don't know.
Hopefully it was.
Weird.
Or maybe it was that thing from I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I've never even seen that
There
film.
it goes again, man. Have to grab that and see.
Let me try and get him this time.
Hey.
Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Just fine, man. Are you guys on the break yet?
Oh no, we're live, man.
Okay.
You're on right now, man. It's just me and Chuck tonight.
Yeah. I had to freak out the old Xbox microphone to plug in.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we can barely.
Yeah,
hear you.
it sounds like you're at a power station or wow.
Is that any better? Can you hear me any better?
No, man, we can't, buddy.
Oh, man.
You need to get a new microphone thingy.
You there, Ron?
Right, man.
Let me see here. Let me see if I can do any tweaking here. This is Ensign Browder.
You guys
Going where no man's gone before.
You there?
Can we hear him now? I think we're gonna have to drop you, Ron. Ron, if you can still hear me, get to a payphone and give me a call, or find a Skype phone.
There you go.
Skype phone. You guys can't hear me at all.
What's that?
You guys can't hear me at all? Can't hear my voice at all?
Very, very low.
It's probably pretty tough for
And
the
choppy.
listeners actually to hear it. We may be hearing it better than they are.
That's too bad. You have no idea how I wanted to second line.
We had no idea what?
Conversation.
I can't.
I said I wanted to call in during the last conversation. Maybe I can thank my roommate.
Yeah, that'd be an awesome idea, man. If you can get another phone or get on a pay phone or something, man. We'd love to put you back on, but yeah, this is technical difficulties possibly at its worst. I've got the hound dog barking in my ear, and I had an electrical storm going on in the other.
Yeah, give us a call back, Ron.
All right, man.
All right.
Call back.
Bye.
All right. Hopefully, Ron has an easier time calling in next time, and maybe his roommate's around to pass him his phone.
That's cool.
If Ron's roommate's there, give him your phone.
We're gonna take a break. And we'll be right back, guys. You're listening to Woe 2 and the Crazy Nights. Okay.
You're lucky there was nothing else in there, because it's still set to automate.
There we go. I took the automation off now. Good Lord.
Welcome back to Woe 2.
Yeah. The number here is toll-free 877-SCARE-U2 for those of you that want to be scared with us. Oh, man.
You can speak with Ensign Browder or Ensign Scott here. Captain, I think I found something over here.
That's the sound of us going up in flames tonight.
Or the Mubatu biting you, or aliens vaporizing you into atoms.
You know what I did today?
No, I don't.
I was on YouTube, and I typed in 7-Up commercials. Mm-hmm. You remember those old ones with the black guy? It's like marvelous.
Well, one of them was, what is his name? Orlando Jones.
Uh-huh.
He originally was doing those for a while when he was kind of I guess a character actor in a lot of films. But he ended up getting big.
No more 7-Up for Orlando.
Yeah, no more. Maybe it was Mission to Mars or something he was in. He was a co-star or something. I think that might have made his career, for a couple of years. But yeah, he stopped doing them, and they replaced him, I think, with another black stand-up comedian. And I think the ad campaign just eventually ran its course.
Never had it, never will.
So that's what you were doing today. You were looking up old 7-Up ads from 7 years ago.
It was much longer than that ago, man. This is like when we were kids.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that long ago?
It was in the 80s. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'm not thinking of the
it's kind of like
the
those
same
old
ad campaign.
Irish Spring commercials, clean as a whistle. You can find all that stuff on there, man. The old Joe Isuzu commercials are on there.
Wow.
Yeah,
actually,
crazy.
there's a lot of good stuff on YouTube. Although there's a lot of really, really dumb stuff too.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
sure if we really looked, we could find someone picking their nose.
I'm sure. In fact, there was that video. I don't know if it was ever on YouTube, but it probably is now. It was on the peer-to-peer share services a while back, WinMX and a lot of those other ones before there was the injunction to shut a number of them down. But there was, I think it was released from America's Home Videos. Maybe it was Bob Saget, I think I saw recently. Maybe he was the one actually that leaked it. But it was a monkey in a tree, and he puts his hand to his behind, sticks it up to his nose, and apparently it's so pungent or whatever, it makes him fall out of the tree.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
But yeah, I can guarantee that if that had been aired on national television in the early 90s, that would have won.
Oh, yeah.
America's fun. Hell, that probably would have won the $1 million prize or $100,000 prize at the end of the season.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
When they had the runoff.
Oh, my gosh. What a dumb show.
Actually, I think it's a great show compared to a lot of the reality programming today.
Oh, gosh.
When faced with actually watching, in fact, they've even brought it back. I'll even watch the new ones without Saget. But I'll even go back and watch the old ones with him. Because I prefer a lot of that to a lot of the reality TV. I mean, I've never watched an episode of Big Brother. Have you?
I haven't. No.
Survivor. Maybe I've watched 1 or 2 episodes of it.
I've never seen that. Yeah.
The only time I ever watched it, they had the second season with. It was one of them that started. I think Big Brother might have been the first of the new reality shows, because reality shows is just it's these what are these 70s sort of variety shows almost. Sort of with a new media spin to it, the reality take on it. But these shows have been around for. I mean, Candid Camera,
yeah,
and some of these other ones from back in the 70s.
Sure.
Even some of the game shows like Dating Game. That's almost like a reality show too. The episode where I can't remember who the host was. Was Chuck Willery that I think was the host of the dating game?
Right.
It's almost before my time. It's hard for me to remember that far back. But there was an episode where he asks this woman, "Where's the strangest place you've ever made love?" And she answers, "In the butt."
Oh my God! Yeah, that's just.
Tell me that's not classic. I bet you can find that one on YouTube.
You probably could. That's awful. That is really, really awful.
But we do have a caller on the line. Hopefully, after maybe I scared him away with the reminiscing of the dating game from the past. But caller, who are you and where are you calling from?
Hey, it's Ron Paul Hunter.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that sounds good, man.
Sounds good.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
It's my roommate's phone. I had to go get my roommate's phone. How embarrassing. I guess I've destroyed mine somehow. I'm really tough on phones, man.
It's all that the security planning you do. I guess what is it exactly called, Ron? I'm drawing a blank here. The Defense Initiative, or Civil Defense Initiative.
Yeah, I mean, but that's legislation. What I'm proposing is more legislation, and then it's a very tough time to try to integrate those things. That's why my conversations are so roundabout, because it is federal legislation that I'm proposing, but I also have a very strong Christian argument of why that legislation should be considered by all the majority of the population, which is our practice of Christian.
You want to fund it, Ron, with money that has been set aside for the faith-based initiative, right?
Yeah, definitely. The faith-based initiative is about that. It's about integrating charity. It's like, we talked about the economy and how if the government had to, like in the days of the Depression, you're basically creating virtual wealthy citizens by empowering a group of people who are going to do public works or something like that, because it's like a war. Your wealthy citizens are supposed to be like the knights on the battlefield, and if enough of them get cut down, then the enemy, quote unquote, can take over your economy. So the public works projects were to put American knights out there that weren't going to be knights by birth, which was passing down of money and wealth, but they would be people who were selected for their capabilities to run the constitutional government until the system was strong enough to interact with itself and create these people naturally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to some extent. I mean, who else can champion the poor than people who have money?
Well, that's what I mean. That is technically their responsibility. The money equals time thing. It's like if you're a very wealthy man, it was like a balancing slide between being holy and having money, or money being earthly responsibility. The more money you have is virtual man hours. So the more money that is entrusted to you, the more work you're expected to do, and the less time you have for spiritual things.
Nah, I don't know about that. You know what that CEO of Exxon's been pulled in before he had his severance package.
Forget those guys. We're not talking about that. We're talking about everybody else in the world but CEOs. Is that the more money you have is your earthly responsibility, and thus you are supposed to support the church so that the church can be totally into the spiritual responsibility, and thus your attendance and being a component of the church restores you to functionality before God. Because, as Judgment Day draws nigh sometime in the future of Christianity, it comes closer and closer to a time when Jesus would judge everyone, and you wanted to have that connection to Jesus so that you could say that you had done your part, that you were a man of the earth and you lived, which is okay, but that you still had that connection to the church, which you kept active by participating and being ready to fulfill the goals of the church. Does that make sense?
Yeah, to some extent. I'm curious, actually, Ron. Do you believe that churches should continue to have their tax exempt status?
It's funny you should ask that, because I thought a lot about that in the last couple of weeks. It's that churches should still have their tax-exempt status, but if there were to be something like I'm proposing, like a national food stockpile program that had a lot of religious motivation to it, I think those churches, in order to keep their nonprofit status, would have to become, by default, these federal assembly areas where the community would naturally assemble at the church. Not that would give the reverend an opportunity to recruit people or anything, just far from it, but it would be somewhere that they would have to earn again their nonprofit license by participating in this fundamental nonprofit idea that would be a nationwide unifying thing, which was what I've been proposing for more than a year. It's just I think I'm so tongue-tied that I can't really spit it out. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, man. I feel we're having one of those nights here at Woe to Ourselves.
Hey, Hey, you guys were perfect earlier. You know, all the stuff about Rich Anders is true. And anytime you can set up the battle, it wouldn't really be a battle. I like Rich a lot.
No, we like Rich too.
Yeah, he's
what
fun.
I'm saying is he sees he's trying to do his best from his point of view, but sometimes his point of view just gets a little sketchy. I mean, it's not that's okay. And it's not like mine never does. But, you know.
Oh, I wasn't here for
strong point.
I wasn't here for his last appearance, but I did hear something about dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, he went a little crazy where he declared himself the greatest prophet ever for all time, which I think, Rich, you know, you might want to back off that one just a little bit.
Methuselah.
Well, I mean, there's Elijah, and you know, Elijah, his assistant probably could take Rich at least.
Yeah, I think you're probably right there. It was good stuff though. You missed out.
No, I didn't. I was listening.
No.
I was talking to Chuck.
He's talking to me.
Chuck,
I don't know. The little trip down memory lane, the episode with his wife yelling at him while he's on the phone for the last 10 or 5 minutes of the program is classic.
I didn't miss that one, but I did catch the one where he was also watching Dancing with the Stars, which I thought that was rare form, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm watching. Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm all for the Sleepy Hollow thing, and any kind of conference you can put together, I will drop PowerPoints on you guys that you won't imagine. The book thing is on, so, and I've got a guy, who I've contacted that was in my original set of things with this impact book that turns out to be a very deep religious thing. So, and his name is Frederick Slack. He's actually listening tonight on the other line, and he would call in. He's got a lot of radio experience time. If you guys don't mind going at it cold, I can kind of hand it off to him, and he'll call in and try to do an interview with you guys, and you can go through talking about things with him. He's had a lot of very intense visions of these type of events.
So it's like impact, disaster,
right? Exactly.
End of days type stuff, Armageddon.
Yeah, but he's also done a lot of interesting things. He's been involved in community television, and he's involved with, if I can find the link here, I don't think I got it in front of me, but he's got an emporium for antiques that's up in the Pennsylvania hills, which I think would have plenty of stories to cover up the rest of the hour all by itself. So without getting too heavy, if you guys don't have a problem with that, I'll hang up and let him call in. You want to try and talk to Frederick Slack?
Actually, I don't know. Do you want to give him a call so we can keep the other line open, or?
Well, he was going to try to call in to this one and just take over my spot, and you guys talk with him. Or he had an 800 number, which if I can scare it up on my phone and you don't mind me giving it to you, you could try to call him on the other line if you want to do that.
Actually, if you could drop us an email with his number, we'd like to have him on tonight that we could give him more time.
Yeah, because it would kind of be like, as Ethan has referred to it in the past, garbage radio time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to we're having a mishmash hodgepodge tonight, but definitely drop us his email and we'll definitely get in touch with him.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and do that. I've got my mail right here, so I'll drop you one.
But yeah, I was hoping maybe we could get Rich Anders on here somehow.
Hey,
get that thing on right now.
That's the way it's got to go. That's it. If you guys check your Gmail, wotu@gmail.com.
That's it.
Okay, because I think that's where I'm sending stuff.
Okay, cool deal. Well, Ron, we're going to let you off here, but
okay.
we'll talk with you soon.
Well, if I'm going off, then what? Like, is it okay? Fred's just going to be another guest. You want to talk to him? I'll get him on.
We'd rather give him a full show.
Okay, all right. He's listening right now, so he's going to hear that.
Okay.
All right.
Right
on.
on.
If you guys don't have somebody else on, I'll be out. I'll be listening.
All right, man.
And I'll be back in a flash.
Okay. See you, Ron.
Okay. All right, that was Ron Paul Hunter from Raleigh.
Raleigh, North
Almost
Carolina.
like our we have a local morning show here. Two guys named Chris. Actually, they were talking about how they just started streaming recently, and a guy I think that moved out west, maybe to Denver or something. Had missed hearing him for years, and he was talking about I miss those two guys named Chris and that junior that calls up, and that's who Ron Paul Hunter is
he's that junior.
He's our junior. You know who I'm talking about? The guy that calls in. I don't know. I'll probably get sued if I try an impression of him.
No, I'll go for it.
This is Junior from North by God, Carolina, home of the pump and munchers. It's something to the extent of that.
That's awful.
But yeah, he has a CD out actually, and not to promote somebody else's stuff. I mean, it's funny stuff. If you're into Larry the Cable Guy, or just into Southern mischief. You should check
Southern mischief.
Yes, there's a special brand of mischief that can only be termed as Southern mischief. I'm not sure they do it in other parts of the country.
Mischief. That's just so funny. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I'm just gonna leave that there. Yeah. So anyway, 7-Up ad. That was fun. Can you believe this Barack Obama Hillary Clinton thing?
We're gonna go there.
We're gonna go there.
Well, she's done.
I know.
Well, sort of.
What's the deal about the secret meeting?
I don't know. Probably to say, well, this is what you give me, and this is how I won't, screw you over.
Later, yeah.
I mean, that's my take on it. I don't think she wants anything to do with his administration or the ticket.
Yeah. What do you think she wants?
What does she want? She wants to be president.
Well, I know that.
In 2012. Or even in 2008, like she said, RFK, he didn't last all that long.
Oh my gosh.
There's a long time left. Anything could happen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Oh man, the Clinton death list.
Well, I mean, they would be one thing if another politician had brought it up. One, that there weren't so many conspiracy theories around, but the Clintons have this conspiracy theory hit list that's longer than my arm. Starting with Vince Foster. There was that labor secretary that was killed overseas after making, I think, some comments about, I can't remember I think it was something to the extent of if the labor department, were blown up tomorrow, it wouldn't make a damn bit of difference. Or, there's just a number of state troopers from Arkansas that worked closely with them that were probably privy to all his women that are gone. But yeah, there's some interesting stuff out there. I would definitely highly recommend doing an Amazon search of Vince Foster. I bet you, and maybe even Clinton hit list. Well, I bet you could turn up some pretty cool works.
My whole thing is, I would rather Hillary Clinton be president than Barack Obama. And the reason I say that is because at least with the Clintons, you know what you're going to get.
Well, that and that that she'd be fairly tough on foreign policy, wouldn't be terrible fiscally. She would be competent in the role.
And Bill will be glad to get back in the White House.
Well, that actually that's a wild card right there because he's been saying some pretty crazy stuff lately.
Yeah, well,
and they've been talking about how possibly it's attributed to his heart attack. That when people go, I think it's specifically have cardiac infarctions, that a mood change can be part of the after effects of it, and that he may be angrier now as a result of a quadruple bypass.
Well, yeah, that generally makes people angrier, I guess.
But he was a health nut, or I don't know if he was a health nut, but he was a very avid runner. From what I recall, during his presidency, although I do recall a lot of photo ops where he would jog into a McDonald's.
Yeah, and I remember Saturday Night Live
making
even had
fun
a little,
of it,
him into McDonald's and his jogging stuff, grabbing people's food. Hey,
but I can
surprised.
I can almost guarantee that was the source of his core. Well, maybe Hillary.
Oh, that's awful. Oh man, but
the truth though, the truth hurts.
I just don't. Barack Obama is just. I can't believe these Americans. I just can't believe them. From George W. to Barack Obama, are they all idiots?
Well, they've progressively been getting worse over the years. Although I mean, there are highs and lows, but you compare it to. Well, then again, you're so far removed from history with the other ones. The FDRs, the Teddy Roosevelts, the Wilsons, Lincoln, all that stuff happened so far ago. A lot of these guys, that we criticize pretty heavily, the modern presidents, have all been under the microscope of the media of television.
That's true.
Modern print, radio, the internet now.
Yeah.
So, I guess maybe you can't treat them so hard as a result of that. But yeah, it does seem that it's definitely sort of hit a downward spiral. But we do have a caller on the line here. I'm just going to go ahead and put him on here. Caller,
Central Station.
Where are you at?
Hey, Ron Paul Hunter from Raleigh again. You guys throw me off and then start talking about Obama, huh? What do you think I was going to do?
I didn't go there. In fact, I even asked, are we really going there? You can play it back.
I believe I heard that. And then much to my dismay, it was not the unexplained, but it was the quite explainable why Barack Obama is kicking everybody's butt. You know, it's a mystery to Jay.
It is a mystery to me. I just can't believe it.
He was up here in Raleigh. I had to work. I didn't go see him yet again. But he's come up here twice, and his wife has been here twice.
I know. It's because you're trying to win North Carolina. North Carolina hasn't voted for a Democrat since Carter in '76.
Well, I mean, it was pretty easy in the primary, man.
Well, he was trying to win North Carolina in the primary. I don't think North Carolina is considered a swing state here this fall. Virginia is, though.
It's crazy.
I don't know. I think North Carolina is important politically because it's got a pretty dense group of people here.
Well, I'm not saying they won't campaign here because Howard Dean has a 50-state strategy he seems to be sticking to pretty hardcore.
We know. He launched that one several years ago. I think nobody missed it, man.
Well, and it's been working out for him. It's not like elitist old John Kerry who said, well, I'm not going to campaign down there in that South, except for Florida. You know, he didn't even attempt to convince anyone. Hell, he picked a Southerner to be on the ticket with him and didn't even bother to campaign in the Southeast.
Man, if Barack Obama survived the endorsement of Kerry, then you know that says more for him than anything else, I guess. You know, Edward Kennedy, Senator Kennedy, was at Duke. I guess he got released today. Yeah. So the last several days he's been over in Duke in one of their, I believe, a cancer ward, getting some surgery done.
Well, apparently all this has brought up universal health care again because, you know, it's at the forefront. He was, I believe, one of the authors of it. And, you know, he's receiving this medical care that, you know, people on the extreme of the health or the health system or the health proposition she has, or not she has, they have, you know, is far better than the average American would have.
Yeah, well, I mean, definitely that the universal health care thing was built for, you know, back in the day when we were halfway intelligent as a civilization, and we were still halfway savages. There's a lot of new and emerging technology and treatments that it's going to be one of those shifts, like a parallax or something, where 1 minute it's one way and the next minute this thing, you know, your whole life will revolve around these technological breakthroughs. There's breakthroughs coming and converting water to.
What does that have to do with Ted Kennedy being in?
I don't know. I was beginning to think maybe he can measure the election or predict the future or something, because parallax is what astronomers use here on Earth to measure the distance, or I think the rate that an object is moving either towards or away from the Earth, or maybe it's the distance. No, it is the distance, because redshift and blueshift is the other.
Right. So, like right now, a cure for cancer is red shifting away from us. A lot of people say it can't be done, but then you might have a technological breakthrough, which would be a very strong blue shift.
Actually, a lot of stuff, positive stuff is being done for cancer research with gene therapy, from what I understand.
Okay, but gene therapy is right beside barbarism to me. I can't believe people even do that. What I was talking about is the Warren Ballantine show finally broke the Nutrisilver barrier. You remember having Russell Altman on, and he was talking about Nutrisilver and the nanoparticles that penetrate your body. Well, if you go to Warren Basin's site, which is out of D.C., and he's on Black Talk Radio, he comes on before. Actually, he comes on the afternoons on a mix station that's up here out of near Raleigh. I'm not sure if it's out of Raleigh.
Is it the same station that plays Sharpton?
No, it's not actually. Sharpton's on St. Augustine's AM 750, the Power AM.
Power.
The Power, man. You gotta give. I shout them out. I always shout out for your guys when you guys had slightly more affiliates. I guess now it's Robin Valley, right?
Yeah, pretty much, man. They're just dropping like flies, and we don't care.
I think well, that's it. If you cared more, they would let you back on. Because not that you don't have
let
a lot
us
of
back
interesting
on.
things. It's not like they wouldn't let you back on. You have a lot of interesting things to say. You guys are always very entertaining, whether I do or do not call in.
Well,
but
thanks,
I got to stick up for my man, Senator Obama. At least he's working. He works hard for his money, man. He will get out there as a president and will at least be the president. He will show up for work and president all day long.
Every president shows up for work. They live there, dude.
That was great. Ron used the word president as a verb. He will president all day. I like that.
Well, that's how you got to think, man. The times are changing. And the thing is, if you want to set two guys up, you should get this doctor guy that's got this new Oxy Silver, and then get Russell on there with the Nano Silver and let them battle back and forth, man. And they'll tell you all about
The Battle of the Silvers.
Battle of the Silvers, because Warren Mason's big time. He says he takes this stuff every morning. He's advising all of his listeners to do it. Look on the Oxy Silver website. These guys have got a disclaimer basically saying, you know, go F yourself, DEA and FDA.
Well, see,
don't come kicking in my door.
I'm not a big fan of the FDA myself, but I do see the reason why it was instituted.
Of course.
And it's my understanding, you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a chemist, but it's my understanding that you can get poisoning actually from ingesting or absorbing too much silver even.
Right.
And any heavy
it's
metal.
The wrong kind, but this stuff is highly pulverized micro silver particles that are magnetically conditioned. They exit your body within 48 hours. There is no silver buildup. There's no way to turn blue with this stuff. So you're talking about larger particles that people either rub on their skin, which is almost like tattooing yourself, and that's what causes them to turn blue. Or you sweat it out through your skin, but it actually goes into the cell spaces, I think, between your skin and body and deposits itself there.
It turns you blue?
Well, I mean, I saw one guy that looked like a Smurf up in Canada.
I saw that too. But because he had the beard too, the older guy.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, Papa Smurf, man.
He could have painted his body just to get on TV.
No.
I mean, everybody always whips out that Elizabeth Dole-like warning thing, and then there becomes a point where it's just not funny anymore. That I think this NutriSilver has significant medical.
Elizabeth Dole had a warning about it?
Well, no, it was a warning saying if you take this stuff, don't believe what the FDA says about it. They're going to call it a drug. They're going to say a lot of things, but we're not making any claims except that if it has some kind of medical treatment, that people reporting it makes their illnesses respond, are the people that are that testimony, them saying, I feel better after taking this product and with no ill side effects, is a direct test. In other words, they're saying they're not going to wait for the FDA to take it for 10 years and squirt it all over rats and then pretend to do studies on it, when the word on the street is that it's just large pharmaceutical companies that were somewhat performing, you know,
that's what I was about to ask you. Do you think it's
let's just say things like Tuskegee experiment. Does that ring a bell, where they let people have syphilis? The bottom line of claiming all this is that if there's a way to treat illness, it should be used and embraced by all the people in the country.
You think the whole United States is a giant mouse cage in a mad scientist laboratory?
Anywhere else. I mean, we're no different from Asia or darkest Africa. I think we've got horrible diseases that run loose right through our country, and a lot of them are like flea bite or tick bite diseases that go underground and can surface years later as mental illness or any various other illnesses. You know, this Lyme disease stuff, it goes round and round, man.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things that I've seen that really make me disturbed, like incidences, we talked about this a long time ago, incidents of small children where their heads were swollen, and they decided that the only way they could treat them was to drill the head and put magnets inside, and then by turning on the magnets, it somehow causes swelling to go down.
Well, don't you think that this could be just a capitalist form of natural selection that's
hideous to hear you say.
Well, no, I'm just saying that, and I'm trying to be a little callous about it, I guess, non-biased. But
yeah, I mean, I'm all for exploring all the possibilities, but we don't want to drift off into soft fascism and even reach subjects like that.
I'm saying that there's a much more heinous route to the end game here with the pharmaceutical companies.
I'm not even saying that pharmaceutical companies are guilty of anything. What I'm saying.
Well, no, I think that what their game is to sell you the treatment for it to appease it. To give you the stopgap measure, the stuff to kill the pain or to alleviate the symptoms. They're not going to give you the cure because they can make a hell of a lot more money off of charging you for 30 or 40 years on the stuff that relieves your pain instead of giving you what potentially could cure you.
Well, I agree 100%, but we're also dealing with the public eye, the public education system, small children, and old people that have to form, I hate to say that, but people that are approaching the age where they're going to have trouble thinking things through will rely on people like you and I who are on the radio to think things through as plainly and simply as we can.
That is a really, really scary thought. But, Ron, we're up against a hard break here, man. Would you like us to keep you on the line or let you go, man?
I'll call you guys right back. I'm going to try. Well, is anybody else calling? I forgot the guy's name from Kentucky. Could you refresh my memory?
Kentucky.
First caller.
Oh, he was from Nashville.
So from Asheville?
Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, cool.
Okay.
What was his name?
Is it Adam?
Yeah, it's
from,
Adam.
From
Adam.
Nashville?
Adam. Okay. I thought Adam rocked, man. Yeah, I'll call you guys.
No, that was a great rendition that he went down. But yeah, we're up against the break, man. So give us a call here, 877-722-7382.
You're listening to WOTU.
That's right.
God bless you guys.
All right, we're back here on WOTU. If you'd like to give us a call, you may at 877-722-7382. That's 877-722-7382. It's toll free within the United States and I believe Canada. That's right. Tonight's guest is, well, you, if you'd like to call in for the last
few minutes
15 minutes of the show. But yeah, some interesting stuff. Nutrisilver, and I didn't catch the name of the other one, but yeah, the battle of the silvers, and the FDA wants nothing to do with it. But no, I believe Liddy Dole, I think, is probably one of the vulnerable seats here coming up. I don't think
so?
I don't think things bode well for her. Well, especially playing the female card, I'm not sure that's going to work too well for her here this next time, because the Democrats nominated a female candidate to go up against her.
Well, we shall see. I don't think she's doing that much anyway. So,
Well, she's one of the biggest do-nothing people up there on Capitol. I never see her up there. I never even see her in interviews. They're usually...
I'll take that job.
Like media prostitutes.
What do you do? Nothing. I just sit here in this cool desk, tell people what to do, go on little trips and stuff. It's a pretty cool job. Get paid well.
My husband was senator once, too.
Yeah, he tried to be president a couple times, too. But
I moved down here to hold public office. Oh, that's right. My mother lived down. My 102. Did you remember that she ran on the fact that she had a 102-year-old grandmother, or not grandmother, excuse me, mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Living here in North Carolina, and they actually went and put the poor woman
on television, yeah,
in the commercials, and that was one of the worst. I thought for sure Erskine Bowles was going to win that one.
Oh man, no, I think Erskine Bowles is just a born loser at these things.
We do have a caller here on the line. Caller, where are you from, and who are you?
What's up, man?
It's Ron Paul Hunter.
You guys know you still got the tunes cranking in the background, right?
No, I didn't realize that.
That's
cool. I was wondering
that's good
how
stuff.
I was going to fit in.
I wonder if it's ducking.
Yeah, there we go. I should have fixed that.
I'm probably screwing it up, actually, for everybody else.
I fixed that. That's good. Thank you.
No, it wasn't. It sounded great. It was very ethereal. You guys were like jamming. You were in harmony. It was nice with the music.
Oh, this has been a wonderful night with no one here to work anything. No one knows how to work it.
We've all forgotten. It's like that Star Trek episode. You ever seen it, Ron? The Menagerie, which I think it was the Menagerie that was turned into, I can't remember. But it was a 2-part episode, man, where the aliens had become so intellectual and their bodies had what is it? Had become so. What's the word when your extremities and everything, just kind of wilts to nothing.
Right, they had minimized their physical self. And
right, and they were attempting to create breeding stock with the captain of the former captain of the Enterprise, not Kirk. And this woman that had crashed there years and years. Actually, it was the pilot, which never aired on television. And to save money, Roddenberry used the footage in a 2-part episode called, I believe, The Menagerie. Oh, right. The first one was the pilot that never aired with Jeffrey Hunter. It's called The Cage.
I remember it. I've watched it before. It's a pretty good episode. Oh,
it's an awesome. In fact, out of Star Trek episodes altogether, it may be one of the top ones up there out of all the series.
Yeah, it's very religious, like how the mind control thing, they beam down this huge laser cannon that can burrow right through a mountain, but then the aliens are so powerful with their minds that they trick them into thinking that it doesn't work. You know, that's
right,
like
and they sheared the top off of the cliff, man, in the process. But
right,
yeah, their
the
perception had been altered by these aliens, you know, and perception is reality. It's a very deep episode. I can understand why the pilot never aired, because it is entirely too cerebral, especially for 1960s American audience. I don't know. Something like that probably wouldn't go over very well now either.
I mean, I'm totally insulted by the tone of television these days. It sounds like some oversexed cheering squad that's just making up the same commercials over and over again, and almost each and every one of them insult my intelligence in some manner.
Well, how many CSIs and Law and Orders do we need on television? How many surgeon shows do we need on television? How many variety shows?
I have their place. Like MASH, despite the thing that MASH was a comedy, it also had a lot of medical procedures where people were at least comfortable with medical procedures.
But MASH is a very unique show, actually, and I don't really recall anything else at the time really trying to steal MASH's thunder.
Well,
maybe Hogan's Heroes.
We talked about this before. It was all set up to. In the old days, I think there's a lot more dealing between the networks, and yet they sought to have the best product. But
well, they were the only game in town before cable.
Well, if you owned a night, you pretty much owned it, and the other dudes would move their powerful stuff around a lot quicker. Like I think Sunday night, Disney owned Sunday night back in the day, and then like Thursday night was NBC for a while.
Oh, with Bill Cosby and Different World, yeah. Until Fox knocked him out of that spot.
If you had a series that would go for 4 or 5 years, you pretty much had locked up your audience, and Cheers was like that too. And then they got to be Seinfeld and other things. Those sitcoms were where a lot of people would that was their nightly entertainment. If there's 400 or 500 episodes, you can watch it for several months or years, I guess, as the case is.
Well, I think you may have seen the last of those actually with Friends and what was the other one, Frasier.
Yeah, well, I mean, combined all of them together, that's probably 4,000 or 5,000 episodes. They must have covered almost all the ground there is to cover.
Oh, with what?
I don't know, just situational comedy.
Oh, I got you. Over the whole period of time, from Jackie Gleason all the way up to
well, for us it's entertainment.
Scrubs.
But for some guys who are making them, they're sitting there with a chalkboard with a bunch of mathematics, trying to figure out when people laughed last time and trying to do it again. After a while, they're just going to run into a dead end.
Well, there's actually a term in the sitcom
what you talking about,
industry,
Willis?
which is a line that you write when you can't think of anything better. You know it will get the obligatory laugh. But there's a term for inserting one of those in your script. I can't remember what it is offhand.
It's the what you talking about, Willis.
Well, it is a little bit like that. Like, that's what she said, or, you can't be serious.
Fundamental participation of people in civilization and in religious participation of people in civilization. A lot of the things that we rely on for entertainment were once vital survival techniques for a group of people that were cut off for the winter. When people are ready to get at each other's throat, if somebody can tell a story, it helps calm people down. If someone
I'll tell you what it is, Ron. It's the barbarians are at the gates, man. But this is the fall of the Roman Empire here.
We are not the Roman Empire, and we want the barbarians to come to our country so that we can teach them how to be free, and they can add their barbarian power to the might of America and hopefully convert to Christianity if they aren't Christians already. That's how I
was saying it figuratively. I mean, the bread and circuses, and the fact we employ so many mercenaries abroad. A number of parallels there.
Yeah, well, that's pressure. The way, and this is just being God honest, Ron Paul Hunter. I've got gifted and talented history credit from the North Carolina public education system and have been in deep thought over national security, well, not national security, national survivability issues and religious issues that become intertwined because I had a vision, a religious vision that kind of melded the two together. So I kind of try to dance back and forth between the two. But I think very much about all the issues of how America is supposed to work. And if you're talking about you were talking about barbarians being at the gates, and it's like the pressure the government's under is what has squeezed us as a nation trying to survive into the form that we're in now, where the gas prices are driving people out of business and driving households down. There's this whole foreclosure thing which sucked people into what would almost appear to be a designed economic
This is what bin Laden wanted, actually.
Well, you could say bin Laden, but there's other people that might be behind it. And one of the things was in the National Guard. It's almost like a duty. I don't want to be the only guy on the block going out and saying this, but obviously it might be the communist Chinese. There are 2 billion of them. They are still communists. Communism, last time I checked, had sworn in its little handbook it was out to get democracy. That's us.
Well, I think when Obama attacked, though, he had a pretty good idea that George Bush would use the war on terrorism to demagogue. Oh, I'm sorry.
Obama attacked.
Did I say Obama?
Yes, we did.
I'm not the first to say it.
Oh, see, you're under stress. That's what I'm talking about. They got you, man.
When
they
Obama
attacked, you over the edge into Obama security.
But no, I think he had a pretty good idea that Bush would misappropriate and probably in a lot of cases, lift and steal money, give away cushy contracts to people who weren't competent to do the job. I think a lot of that factored in to the attack.
We're talking about coercion as a form of war almost, and that's what we appear to be undergoing in some form, is that you have to let certain things slide, that there's certain things that aren't going to lock in the government because we're not putting any effort into making sure the government works. We just kind of coasted into a dead zone. We used to have the draft that was just massive fueling of government personnel. It was everybody was going to be in the government, and then it dropped down to people you hire, and then you're trusting politicians to hire the right people. And at some point, if you get a bad politician in there, you end up with bad people inside the government.
Well, I know, and both people on the right and on the left now both turn to the federal government in times of crisis and disaster. Look what happened during September 11th and Katrina.
Right, and remember we talked a long time ago about this, but September 11th and Katrina, there was a tremendous amount of people across the United States of America that wanted to participate. The people in New York City wanted desperately to help. Those two, especially the September 11th incident, was where I really set out to say, look, what is the potential of that, man? Everybody wants to help. All you really need is a dispersed civil defense process with embedded programs, a little bit of training, a little bit of church participation, and then everybody instantly can help. Instead of having to reach for your wallet and give people money, remember my suggestion was to be able to assemble and donate man-hours into the equation. That way you don't have to worry about feeling guilty because you don't have money to pay every time it's an act of God. Disasters just come up out of the blue. Jesus said, watch out, I'll return as a thief in the night. And, darn if he didn't mean it. Jesus is the only person.
It sounds like you're almost proposing a domestic Peace Corps or something.
No, it's not. No Peace Corps. Forget the Peace Corps. It's about a national survival food stockpile, and then as a public works program like the Alphabet Soup days, to have Civil Defense Corps. And, yeah, you're right, but that would be an enlisted position similar to a military position, but would be, it's called an engineering control when you use it on the theoretical design level. You're placing something over the whole disaster area that's a federally operated group, and for you to get access to that disaster, either to repair it, to have contracts within it, you will have to work with people who have actual legitimate federal responsibility. Almost everything's done through subcontractors, and it frustrates the heck out of people. The system does work somewhat, but then again, you look at the huge holes that are in it. New Orleans is not rebuilt. It was once one of our most vital port areas, second only to the Everglades, I think, in New York City, and the California harbors are major harbors too. But that whole area was a thriving economic entity, and it's just been left there sort of to its own recognizance. And even though gas prices are at $4 a gallon, and the people were screaming. I was down there right after the thing, and on their AM radio, people were just screaming left and right. Don't you understand these giant pipelines that come from the Gulf are where you get your oil? If you don't repair our city, we can't repair the pipelines. Oil prices are going to go up. And here we're sitting here, and the oil prices are skying. I'm not sure what the production's probably back in the Gulf. I hesitate.
Not to 100%.
Right, not to 100%, and a lot of people got driven away.
Well, and we haven't built a refinery or a nuclear plant in this country in 30 years. No wonder we're having an energy crisis.
All right, we're talking again. I listened to the Reverend Al Sharpton's show. He has a lot of truck drivers call in, and one guy called in and said something very interesting to the tune of Houston has 1.5 days of food. The state of California has about 6 days of food. I think New York City had 3.
Yeah, there's a little under a week's worth in the pipeline there.
Right. So what they're saying is if there is some kind of disruption, natural disaster, terrorist attack of significant magnitude that would cause a disruption to our economy, we would be coasting to a stop. So the message was, and my thing is, I'm trying to incorporate everything. I still advocate for the school systems having and I can't say Stop Hunger Now program because they're not clear, their meal's not clear. Just like the FDA won't clear their meal to be eaten in the U.S., even though it's eaten by starving people.
What, the plumpy nut? Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, remember Ray Buchanan? He was on World of the Unexplained and did a tremendous show, which I'd like to hear him again. He came on and he could talk more about his Stop Hunger Now program, which is part of the Methodist Church. But it's all about making famine relief meals. A 4-ounce meal serves 6 people, and it's got a 15-year shelf life. So my plan for America is to fill the shelf life, fill the 15-year storage life of that meal is the centerpiece of my food stockpile. To make so many of those meals and store them ridiculously, like mustard gas cans in the desert, which we had 55-gallon drums of mustard gas stacked out in the desert at the end of World War II we were going to use on the Japanese. I say stack up 55-gallon drums of grain and everything else, not 55-gallon drums, but these meals. Make them with the school system, make them with your churches, and pay for them and put them in a national food stockpile just in case. And if they do nothing but rot, they will bring peace of mind to the country, because then you'll be able to rely on the federal government, because what's the federal government going to do? It's going to hand you something to eat. And if we have something to eat, we can build spaceships, man.
Oh, they won't even be able to do that for you. They'll just hand you the money to go buy something to eat for,
hey, you know what?
$9 on a glass of milk or something. Because
I'm saying don't say that, because that's $600 that they send everybody.
Yeah.
is just about what it would take to buy 3 or 4 years worth of food at that rate. I think it ended up being $550 because it was 20 cents a meal.
But this is stimulating the economy. Wink, wink.
That's right.
Wink, or it's like, hey, go buy your 4 years worth of food, and if you decide to do something else, then you've dropped off into sin. And getting in people's mind religiously is a difficult and dangerous thing to do, but never underestimate the power of God in someone's life. People get angry over religious things in an instant, and it changes everything. So, the time when God, and this was my big thing. I don't know if I can squeeze it in, but it was like God blessed us already. It's like all this prosperity and time we've got and everything that we've got obliged us to do the thing that he said to Peter to do, which was feed his sheep. It's like we've already been paid. If we don't come through with the program and Judgment Day does come, we'll be the ones held accountable.
All right, Ron, thanks so much for coming on tonight, man. We appreciate it.
Dude, it was my pleasure. God bless you guys. I love to listen to the show.
God bless you, too. Thanks a lot, man.
All right, good night.
Good night. And that's Ron Paul Hunter. Guys, we're getting out of here. It is time.
Yes, it is. It is certainly that time. I don't know. It's that heat wave, man.
It is, man. It's
put the smackdown on me. But we'll have to contact Rich Anders and arrange that Royal Rumble here.
Sure.
King of the Ring.
Jay Scott, you're only JD DJ, Omni Sound Radio 1 Network.
And this is Chuck Brider dropping science at you at 64K per second.
All right.
We'll see you next week.
Good night. Chuck?
We out!